They recording. Tim Grice, morning, and thanks very much for allowing me into your house in the heart of Stoke-on-Trent.
No problem.
Very kind of you. Before we travel to Daventry now, I'm a bit unprepared here because I've got my questions.
Just hung over.
Yeah, a little bit. I've got my questions in me phone, so just bear with me. I should have done this before we started, really.
That's alright. It's real TV.
Yeah, it is. It's off the cuff, this. Right, okay. Where did you start your career?
Started out, played for the City years ago. I don't know what year it was. Played with Tim Sanders, Leon Ashman.
The City as in?
City of Stoke, yeah.
Stoke?
Yeah. There's Newcastle and Stoke, and played for them. There's quite a few scouts around the area and that. I got picked up by Stoke. Went to Stoke for 4 years. Played there. After that, moved on to Aston Villa. Played there for 4 years. But the reason I left was because at the time the academy wasn't what it is now.
At Villa?
Yeah. No, it's at Stoke. The academy wasn't. I mean, you turn up for training, it wouldn't be on. It'd be cancelled and stuff. So I opted to go Villa just for the better academy.
And am I right in saying that's where you got a bad injury at Villa?
Yeah. I did my cruciate ligaments when I was 15, and the cut-off was like 16, whether they make a decision on you, whether you get basically a pro or not.
So that did your legs, did it? I take it.
It did. I didn't touch the ball for 13, 14 months. Kind of broke my season off, but that's not an excuse. Like I wasn't good enough to make it anyway. Like you kind of get a gist of the players who you're with. I think there's only one who got kept on. I thought it was Mark Albright, and he's obviously doing well at Leicester now.
Yeah, Mark Albright, he is doing really well at Leicester.
There's about 25, 30 people there. So
right. So when did you sign for? Who did you sign for then? Because you signed for Leek in 2011 from Eccleshall. Is that right?
Yeah. What happened was I was at All Sage before that with Damien Grocott. I did Ryan Grocott.
Yeah.
Now his dad was manager at All Sage, and basically he asked me to come down for 10 games towards the end of the season, try and help him stay up because they were second from bottom at the time. We managed to do that, and then I moved on. At the end of the season, they changed manager. He said he wanted to resign, which is fair enough. So then I moved on to Eccleshall because I knew the chairman, Steve James. So we played there for a few games, and then alongside, because it was convenient and that, and I was allowed to play Sundays as well, so I was playing 6 times on a Sunday with a good friend, Raj, and Kenny just turned up one game with, I think it was with Bakes, to be honest. We were up at Blythe, and then saw me play and says we
Kenny the Truth.
Kenny the Truth.
Kenny the Truth turned up. So
good old Ken.
Yeah. So then you signed for Leek.
Yeah.
Which you've been ever since.
Yeah.
I suppose you've gone on to score obviously 101 last week. Got a bit of media attention this week. Radio Stoke have been.
Yeah, I don't like it, to be fair. Yeah.
But it's a fantastic achievement. And have you always played as a centre forward, or you've played in?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, sit me in defence, and I won't know what to do. To be honest, I'm not that kind of versatile player where you put me anywhere, know what to do.
Do you have a favourite goal or a favourite all-time goal?
I wouldn't say. When I was younger, and I scored a couple. The thing is, when you're younger, the pitch is so small, and you end up scoring from the halfway line and stuff. But not recently. No, probably say the Bucks the goal. To be fair, I was happy with that.
I was just about to say that was a cracking goal. Was that this season? Can you pick a favourite goal?
To be honest, the majority of them have been tap-ins this season. Or headers.
Strikers' goals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Do you have a highlight playing for Leek Town?
Yeah, definitely the playoffs. When we got to the playoffs, I think we needed the 5-goal difference against, I think we went Bolton at that push, and then managed to get a hat-trick against Shepshed, and obviously the scenes were quality then. And then I'm going on to Carlton as well.
Brilliant.
Obviously we get into the playoffs, I think it was just too much in the end, but yeah, that's definitely a highlight.
What about a low light? What's your lowest moment? My lowest moment, I'll interrupt, was that bloody Sutton Coldfield last year. I was gutted after that.
Definitely. Well, I definitely, as funny as it sounds, the low point for me was the first 3 or 4 months that I was at the club, because I literally didn't get a sniff. Like, played a couple of cup games.
Who was manager then?
Bakes, but it wasn't. I didn't have anything to do with the management. It was purely because we had Deb Gibson,
good players,
Dorrell, Jimmy McCarthy, Adriel. So we had Richie Minor. That's 5 top quality strikers. Yeah. So I knew where I was at. I was only a couple of weeks away from leaving, to be fair. I think I turned around to Kaz, and just through suspension, Adriel was missing. I think Devon had moved to Australia, and Rich Man had got injured. Just how it happened, I got a chance and then played from there. New Mills. I think it was the first game that Donald played as well. That came back.
You mentioned Kazza. What's he like to play for? I feel he strikes me as a bit of a volatile lad, Kazza.
Yeah, he can be. Yeah, he's passionate. He's
passionate.
He tells you how it is at the end of the day, Kaz, and that's what I like about him. He's not going to turn around and say, yeah, you'll be playing, and then just drop you at the last minute, or
you know where you stand.
Yeah, if he says something, it usually sticks by it.
I look at yourself and think, 100 plus goals. You could argue, really, you could play at an higher level. Would if someone come sniffing round?
Yeah.
Where do you kind of see yourself? I suppose in maybe a year or 2 years. I mean, people scoring goals regular.
Yeah.
Clubs want them kind of players. So what do you think? Do you think you've been at Leek 4 years? I'm rambling here a bit.
No, I think with football, it's very much season to season. You can have a bad season and your career could be over. If you're playing league football, if you have a bad season, your career could be over. But in non-league, you can kind of pick yourself up. There's plenty of local teams, we've got 4 or 5 local teams, and you could move on if that's how you felt. But at the moment, I can't speak for 3 or 4 months down the line, a year down the line, but at the moment, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm not looking at going anywhere else.
And you're on a contract. When did they offer you a contract?
Start of the season, we played Vale at Hanley Town. I think it was a cup game. It was either cup or friendly, and that's when I signed anyway. I'd agreed before pre-season though. We had a night out. We agreed then.
Does that tie you? I don't know what value these contracts are. Does that tie you into the club or?
Yeah. You basically
makes it harder for.
There's a 12-month option as well next season, which I was happy to. I was happy to sign. So, as far as I know, I'll be at the club next season. That's if Leek want to retain my contract. The only other thing is if a club came in and offered money, I think that's the only.
And how does it feel getting paid to play football? Because I'd like to get paid to play.
Not just normal, really. I think I could do it anyway, whether
you were paid or not.
Yeah. No, it's just one of them things where you just turn up, enjoy it.
How much can you earn? How much do they pay you?
I just do it for love of the game. Like I don't get paid.
You can't answer that. You can't tell me that, can you, Grice? No, I'd like to get paid. They do all right though, don't they? Sam.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. We can't answer that. That's an unfair question. The end of last season, when we did miss out on the playoffs, quite a lot of the squad then moved on.
Yeah.
And obviously you didn't. Do you keep in contact with any of the players that you used to play with?
JJ messages every now and then. Samuel, let's see how he is every now and then. He's just had an injury at Nantwich.
Did you think about leaving yourself at the end of last season? Because obviously you missed out on promotion. What?
It does. Yeah, you definitely. I didn't think about leaving, no, but you do think of your options because obviously, I've been here 5 years. 4 out of them 5 years, we've made the playoffs, and it gets to you when you get to the 2 of them at playoff finals as well. I think last season was the closest we've ever been. You look at the game last. What was it? Sutton. We won 6-1 or 5-1, 3-0 away. And then
3 times, I think.
Yeah, the goals fought with 10, conceded 1,
and then lost the big one.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you do.
Painful.
You do look at something and think, do I want to play higher than that? But
it's good now. It's good.
It's close. You've got games in that league. I know it sounds stupid now, but there's like 4.5 hours, and like you say, for when you're getting a bit of money in that, you look at the difference, and unless you play for like teams like Darlington and that, you've got ridiculous money in Salford, and
it's good. You certainly
It's not just about that, obviously. I enjoy it at Leek. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have stayed if I didn't enjoy it.
Top man.
There's out a few lads staying as well, though, from last season.
Well, I want to ask you about some of the players.
Yeah.
I want to know who's the most intellectual, who's the most clever player at Leek Town.
Do you know, I'd say was, right, because he's at uni, he wears glasses, then you see him.
Wears glasses?
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah.
well,
He
you
looked
look
training, he was wearing glasses the other day, so he looked quite intellectual.
fair enough.
So other than that, I don't really know.
Who's the most simple?
It's got to be Disco. He's a nice lad, I don't like saying that, but
He's definitely
yeah.
Kyle.
He's a lovely lad, but...
Okay, then who's the best looking? I mean, there's some good looking lads play for. What do you think, Sam?
Oh, definitely my Tim.
I'll go for...
Definitely your team.
I'll go for
Tim's not a
Curly.
bad looking lad, is he?
No.
I'll go for Curly. Just,
James Curley.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a good looking lad. He's got a very attractive, I can say, very attractive missus.
Oh, I see.
James Curley, yeah, which is always a indication of how good you are
Right.
in terms of how you look. Okay. Who wears the best clothes? Your clothes have been mentioned.
Yeah,
Are you a bit
to
of a
be fair,
fashion?
when I first come to the club about 3 years ago, yeah, I did have a bad fashion sense.
Bad dress sense?
Yeah, I did, to be fair. But it's improved.
You've upped your game.
I've had words from Chadders. Chadders said I've improved, and his parents got a bit of money, so they splash it around with a few clothes.
Who's got? So would you say Chadders wears the best clothes then? Not
I'd
yourself.
say-
You can't call yourself.
I'll say Danilek out of them, because it's different. What he wears is different to me. He wears like shoes without socks when he goes out and stuff, and he's got his own fashion.
Sets trends.
Yeah, sets trends.
Brilliant.
We'll go around.
Who's the best dancer?
Best dancer? No one, I'd say. I'd say they're all nutters when they go the dance floor.
Bakes has been mentioned as a good dancer.
Bakes. I
No?
don't think I've seen Bakes dance. I've only had one night out with Bakes because he's obviously not been here long. We only had the, I think it was Derby. Not Derby, where was it went? I can't remember. I don't know. Bradders is the worst. Bradders.
Terrible dancer.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you now, by the way. We went to go see a gig. Rivalry went go see last year, and he ended up getting hands kicked out because he was dancing like an idiot.
Bradders was.
Yeah, Danilek's gone up to him, started dancing like an idiot. They're putting drinks everywhere. So I'll say,
And they got kicked out. Terrible. We
Yeah.
can't have that, can we?
no,
No, we can't.
that's your former captain as well,
Yeah.
assistant manager.
Poor. Who's your best friend at the club?
I'd have to say, to be honest, this year we're all quite close. Like it's a good year. Last year was as well. I think the Norton lads coming in, you think there might be like a divide because there's about 5 or 6 of them. They are a bit more close than us lot, but there's no like
There's a
none
good
left
spirit.
out, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go with Ant and Niall because I share less with them.
You get to know them.
So yeah, I know them a bit more. We send regular texts and we'll go with them.
Who's the best player you've ever played alongside?
See, because I came straight from academy
Some
and I
good
didn't
players.
play for 3 years, I didn't really have a chance to play with like loads of ridiculous names. Like you've got some players and I say, oh, I played with Beckham and Rooney and all that.
Big names.
Yeah, but for me, because like I didn't play for 3 years, between 16 and 19.
What about sort of non-league then? Can you,
Non-league,
so you-
I'd probably say Melbourne, to be honest. He's ask anyone, he's
Good player.
the best player around it. He shouldn't be in this league at all. So I'll probably go with Malbs, yeah.
Who's your toughest opponent you've played against? It's quite hard questions to be
It's a
fair.
tough one, that one is. Tough to the opponent. See, it'd be...
Or who's a tough opponent? Who's
Well, again, it'll be in this league. I think... I can't remember his name. I think it's Jeff. He plays for Chasetown on his day. I can't remember his name now. I can't remember his name. He plays for Chasetown.
a good player?
Yeah, it's a good player. He's tough. He just wins everything in the air. It's physical. Which usually I'd prefer to play against someone like that because usually slower than that. But on his day, he was quality. I think it was Jeffries or something like that. Something Jeffers.
We'll find out. We'll find out and put it on the edit.
Yeah.
Do you follow football? You must. It's a daft question. Do you support a football club? Who do you support?
Yeah, I support Stoke. Well, I'm one of them fake Stoke supporters. Never get watched because I can't. Because
He's
of
playing.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I've got Stoke at heart.
Stoke.
My family.
Top man. If you're having a night out, Hanley, Newcastle or Leek?
Newcastle, definitely. I just cheesily prefer Stanley, but Newcastle. I prefer pubs out. I'd rather go to the pub than
Then go. Yeah. FIFA League. Can you win the FIFA League?
No, not at all.
No.
Some good players, really
You've
good
been
players.
touted as a...
Early doors, yeah. I think, no disrespect to the ones that played early, but I think a few of my earlier fixtures weren't
Played me.
representation of yeah.
I think diet. Oh God, it's painful.
I think you're doing right. You're improving.
Definitely improving. Would you say I am improving? When you last played me, would you say I'd improved?
Yeah, it was 3-1 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, positive. We're nearly at the end. Current game, recent games: Tuesday night, Market Drayton, 0-0 down at Leek. Any thoughts on that game?
Not really. Probably one of the worst
scrappy
games I've been involved in. It was terrible. Just everything about the game was terrible.
Sending off didn't help, did it?
That was the only talking point, really.
Yeah.
I think it didn't help. We created a few chances and that, but I'm not going to say we didn't win the game because of the sending off, but it was just a terrible game.
Terrible game.
Terrible.
And today, travelling to Daventry, that's where we're off to in an hour or so. And what do you know about them, if anything?
Not a lot, just we played them start of the season. This is the first year that I've known them being in our league, so I don't know a lot about them, but yeah.
Do you look at opponents, before you play a match? Do you get to know anything about them, or do you just go and play?
Not really. There's no use, to be fair, because there's injuries that get picked up. There's players who leave week by week, because you put 7 days in and the player's gone, so you could look at a team a week before and it's not there. I think it doesn't really make a difference. We can't change it anyway. There's no point in me looking at the defender saying he's good in the air, because he might be terrible on the day, he might be big. But
just go and play. Yeah. Just go and play the game.
Yeah.
Nearly finished. Leek Town TV. Do you watch?
Yeah, I watch. I think it's decent. It's good. It's good publicity for the club.
Decent. Yeah. Decent. Your goals are decent. We put them on. In fact, I've got the January goal of the month award.
Oh no!
It's not a really good goal.
It's the worst.
It's the worst goal.
That month is the worst month.
It's the worst month for goals. We only had 5.
Yeah.
I think you scored 4 of them.
There were a lot of games cancelled, I suppose, but yeah, it wasn't the best pickings.
We sponsored by Ken
Hitman
Ken, Finley Antiques. He pays for these little.
Loves a plug.
That's for you. And then finally, Euro 2016. Can England win it?
I think they got a good chance this year. Win it, I don't know, but should be getting out of the group at the very minimum.
Would you start Vardy? I would.
I would, yeah. I think, how would you justify not starting him?
Yeah.
You've got to go on current form, yeah. People are saying next season he'll be a flop and he won't do it. He's not going to realistically.
Second season's like Harry Kane, isn't it? But he's done well. I think he's the real deal. He's done well.
I think he's unlucky that Vardy's coming kind of
to the line, yeah, completely.
Massively.
Tim Grice, thanks very much for your hospitality.
No problem.
You're a good bloke. Keep scoring goals for Leek Town and we'll keep filming you. Thanks very much. Thank you, Sam, for filming.
You're welcome.
Cheers, Sam.